episode 7. And this, as far as I'm concerned, is the best question that I have been asked. And I'm sorry if the camera's a little shaky. It's kind of handheld right now. So it's my phone, to be honest, not a camera. The question is, why get married? It's a complicated question, and there are answers on both the practical level and more esoteric levels, and I'll try to explore it a little bit. From a practical point of view, well, first of all, we are technically a same-sex marriage. My wife is legally male, and has, I mean, if it makes sense at some point for her to change her legal status to female, then we will do it. That's completely up to her. And apparently there have been some inroads into allowing that to happen, but it's really not a big deal for us. I mean, we were allowed to marry in Mexico, so fine. You know, we are legally married. It was an historic marriage because it is the first time that a transgender has gotten legally married in the Yucatan Peninsula. We don't live there anymore, but we did at the time. And so that gave it a certain amount of significance. And same-sex marriage is a controversial subject. I'm not sure why, other than religious bigotry, but it is. Now, in terms of practicality, there are very, very practical reasons for us getting married. I receive a small pension from Canada, pardon me, in order for my wife to, who is significantly younger than I am, for my wife to receive my pension after my death, we have to be legally married. And we have to be legally married for 10 years. So, and she'll only get 50% of my pension. So it was important to me that we start that clock sooner rather than later. I mean, I'm 62 now. Based on family history and so on and so forth, my chances of making it to 72 are pretty damn good. But, you know, I mean, I get hit by a bus tomorrow. So I wanted to get that clock started ASAP. That's the practical reason. Slightly more esoteric, because my wife is transgender, getting married to an apparently, and I put quotation marks around apparently, an apparently heterosexual male is kind of a validation for her. Like I said, it's the first marriage of a transgender in the Yucatan Peninsula, so it's kind of a badge of honor. It sort of validates her as a woman, and that felt like a gift that I could give her, so that she could feel better about herself. Now, we do not have a traditional marriage. It's a same-sex marriage. So it's not traditional in the sense of, and I'm the veteran of 2 prior marriages to cisgender women. In those marriages, I fully expected that we would have sexual fidelity. I have no such expectation of this marriage. Nor do I think I should. And the fact is that I had that expectation of the previous 2 marriages was a mistaken impression on my part. I'm not going to, tell stories outside of school or anything like that. But I mean, sexual fidelity within the marriage was not inevitable. Whoever did what to who or what is not important. It was an unrealistic expectation, and it's an expectation that my current wife and I do not have. We know that there is a difference between sex and love. It's fantastic when they come together, no pun intended. But when sex and love happen in the same instant, that is absolutely fantastic. But there's absolutely nothing preventing either of them from happening separately. You can fall in love with somebody and never have sex with them. You can have sex with somebody and never fall in love with them. That's just a fact. That's just a reality. And if you don't recognize and acknowledge that, you're possibly setting yourself up for a disappointment. Now, I'm sure that there are couples who absolutely are faithful to their spouses, who would never even consider sex outside of the marriage. Good for them. Absolutely great for them. Fantastic. You know, I mean, I wish you all the luck in the world. No, not luck. I mean, you've got a great thing going there, and if you both feel the same way, you know, more power to you. Absolutely. But I don't think that's the typical situation. I don't think that people can typically make a commitment for 10, 20, 30, 50 years like that. Some people probably can. I, for one, cannot. It's not something that I can do. It's not within me. The other more esoteric reason that comes to mind about why to get married, aside from validation, aside from her being able to get my pension, is societal validation. We recently had a situation where we went to Segura Popular. I think I told this story already. The fact that we were married made a huge difference in how we could interact with the doctors and staff there. They would talk to me openly about we were there to see for Colette, but they would talk to me openly about various considerations it was about her hormonal treatment, in a way that they could not have done if I was her boyfriend or her live-in or whatever. Because I was her legal husband, I could have these conversations with them. They felt no problem with doing that. I felt completely at ease being there. So there are very, very good reasons for getting married. Anyway, it's a personal decision. I think that loving someone means loving them. It means wanting the best for them. Even if the best for them turns out not to be you. Wanting the best. That's what love is. And by being married, I am in a position to help her have the best life possible. And she's in a position to do that for me as well. A whole bunch of basic things have to happen for that to occur. Obviously, there has to be love. Obviously, there has to be mutual respect, attraction. There's a whole bunch of things that have to happen. But if you really genuinely want the best for that person, which is my definition of love, you're in a position to do that if you're married to them, that you're not otherwise in. Anyway, thanks for listening. I hope this wasn't a downer. Shouldn't have been. Thanks for listening.